So look at the text. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth. Wait a minute, where else can we lay them up? If we're on the earth, I live in a certain locality, right? I go to work every day. Things in my house, for me, they're treasures. Amen. They may not be from a king's perspective, but they're my what? Treasures. And so you're saying don't lay them up. What are you saying to me, God? Now watch this. Are you hearing me? He says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. In other words, when you lay up treasure on earth, you can expect the thief to show up. Mm-hmm. Too much is given, much is required. Are you hearing? Amen. You can expect what? A thief to what? Show up. Because if your heart is not in God, in heaven, but your heart is on the things of the earth, you're going to be a miserable somebody. Because rust and thieves are going to always what? Be in your what? It's a given. You attract those types of things to you when your heart is there. And you're always going to be miserable. You say, what's wrong? What's the problem? And you're always, Christians are the most sad people I've met in my life. Church folk are the most saddest folk I've ever met in my day. They're just depressed. I ain't seen a bunch of depressed folk than church people. I'm telling the truth. Church people like depressed. They ain't, just. I'm like, what's up? What's wrong? Just depressed. You're right. I'm going to try to get you out of your depression, because this will help you get out of the depression. Because you're inviting unto yourselves rust, moth, and thieves. Because your heart is here when it should be. Now watch this. You are your own trouble unto yourself. Because you worry sick. Oh, well, he told you not to be worried. Look at the text. Now I'm in the book. Now my theocracy says preach. Your democracy says shut up. Now watch this. Are you with me? Yeah. Now watch this. Now he says, look what he says now. He says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt. And anybody that had a nice car at one point and kept it over any period of time, know eventually that car going what? Right. Rust. It's the most disheartening thing you can ever see. You go out and purchase you a brand new car, keep it 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to look at a certain part of it and you see what? Rust. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Amen. Are you hearing? Amen. Or you get a new car, and all of a sudden you park it in a certain parking lot, and people know you got a new car, come out and got a big old what? Or you don't park it next to a hoopty. And you always look back as if you didn't know where you parked. Are you hearing? Amen. Now watch this. He says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasure in where? In heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt. Now all of a sudden, my heart's not going to be troubled anymore, because my heart is really in heaven. And my treasure is in where? Yeah. Heaven. And then I'm not concerned about the thing. Are you here?
Amen.
He says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Now, which one would you prefer to have? Now, where do you prefer your heart to be? On the earth? Now, if it's on the earth, you're going to eat what you say you want. Here you are as a pastor trying to comfort folk who their heart ain't even in heaven. Their treasure, is on the earth. And they're frustrated, they're miserable because their stuff is being what? Affected by earthly what? You can't comfort somebody that's heart and treasure is on the earth and they're not even obeying what God said concerning where your heart should be and where your treasure should what? How can you comfort people like that when their heart is bound to the things of this what? He says that, watch it, he says, lay not up for yourselves treasure. Lay not up for yourself. Lay up. In other words, if God gives you something, use it for the purpose that God gave it. Are you hearing me? In other words, if God bless you with something, say, God, I give it back to you. I'm going to use this as an instrument to advance your kingdom. If you bless me with a car, I'm going to use this car as an instrument to bless your kingdom. If you bless me with a house, I'm going to use this house as a tool to invest back into your what? Into your kingdom. Now all of a sudden it has a kingdom connection. The thing that is precious to you, you've given it back to who? God, I take this job and I give it back to you. That when the supervisor comes and say, I don't have the job no more, I'm not worried about it because I gave it to you anyway. Amen. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Amen. Are you hearing? God, I give this husband back to you. I asked for him, you gave him to me, he's yours. I want to believe you, God, that you're able to do in him what you said you're able to do in him. Amen. I'm not going to try to be the God over him. I can't change him, but you can. Amen. Watch this. Brother said, don't leave me hanging, Pastor. What about the wives? Are you hearing? Are you hearing? So he says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth where moth and rust doeth corrupt and where thieves break through and steal. Doeth corrupt suggests that it is a process of what? Time. It takes place over a length of what? Time. So the minute that you put your treasures where your heart is, eventually you're going to be disappointed because the thing that you love so much is now what? Corrupted. And someone breaks in and what? Steals it. In other words, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Now listen, Job's heart was not connected to his stuff. Job's heart was connected to God. Because, listen what I'm saying. Although Job had all that what? Stuff. He never cursed God when he lost his stuff. So watch this now. If your heart is connected to the things around you, and God permits the enemy to take them, then you're going to start cursing God. You're going to lose your integrity. Well, you may not have ever had any. Have you ever heard what I'm saying? Because your personage was tied into your stuff. And as long as you had your stuff, you were what? You were you. You were big cheese. But the minute you lost your what? Now all of a sudden now you ready to commit what? Suicide. Because you were tied into your what? So you lost your job. Now you're trying to kill yourself. Because you thought that your job was you. Instead of being, now people that commit suicide, they're really tied into something other than God. That thing that they're tied into has become their what? That's why you can't get tied into your marriage. That's right. What if she go crazy? What if he go crazy? Now all of a sudden you're talking about killing yourself because and he all in the mall looking. And you catch it on the peripheral. outside with an oodle noodle bag. You grabbed the first thing that was in the cabinet. But it's an oodle noodle mentality. You understand what I'm saying? You trying to kill yourself over Leroy because Leroy looked like on the other side at what you used to look like. Okay, I'm going. Watch this. Leroy ain't changed his mind. That's what attracted him to you. Then 15 Krispy Kreme later, you think Leroy changed his what? I ain't saying Leroy was right. I'm just telling you there are situations that occur that way that are on the real deal, and I'm trying to keep the person from killing themselves in a situation like that because those things happen. Amen. That's real life. It may not be for you, or you may be strong enough to overcome it, but it's real life for somebody.
Amen. That's true. Amen.
I told you I just had an incident in my own family where a young man killed himself and his girlfriend. And I'm trying to find, I said, why? Can somebody in the family tell me why? What was going on prior to that event? That a nice young man, good-looking young man, had everything going from him, and based upon observation, why would a relationship be the end of him and the woman he was with? What was going on in him that we as leaders failed to communicate effectively? Because when you fail to communicate the gospel at the level that you've been called to communicate it, it becomes your fault. Say, if my people which are called by my name will humble themselves and seek my face, turn from them, then I will heal the land. See, it's the church that's messing up, not the people. And preachers are afraid to preach because people are leaving their pew. Can't tell you what you need to know, because the minute they tell you what you need to know, you leave. That's why I thought about taking about two of them pews out of here and I have a mega church. Get rid of that pew and that pew.